Hey, okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to animate with Sketchbook. So if you have the program, I'm not sure if you can only use the animating part if you actually take the Sketchbook Pro. It's because that option came out for animating after I got Pro, so I have no idea if it's free or not, but you guys can figure that out. I'm not gonna tell you because I don't know. I would look it up, but I had no idea if the reason has the answer. But whatever. So you guys can just download Sketchbook anyway. It's a really good program anyway. So even if you can't animate with it, you can draw with it. It's worth it anyway. So well, it's more worth it if you actually have the Pro version. You paid for it. It has a lot of extra stuff on there that's really good. So open Sketchbook. This is what you do first to start animating. So you see, let this load. Okay, yeah, no one cares. No one cares. Okay. So here is a lot of different options. You can see here there's a lot of different brushes here. You can only get those if you pay for it. But I just think it is worth it, because look at all these really cool brushes. I'm not going to go through one, that would take like 2 hours. But you can see there's different options. This one can make things more smooth. So let's just say, oh, I want to make a line, and you're like, oh, it makes it more smoothed out. Not perfectly smoothed out, though, but more better. So if you draw something and you're like, oh, it's so not smooth, guess what? It just makes it more smooth. There's also different shapes you can do. Like here's a line you can do. You can do this. There you go. You can also do this. This makes your lines more smooth as well. If you're actually going to manually have it smooth while you're drawing it, and you can edit how much distance that makes it even more smooth. But I use that when I'm on my second layer. The first layer I actually draw it and it's all blah looking, and then I make a second layer, and the second layer is actually where I fix it. So yeah. By the way, this can make it more transparent. So let's just pretend you have 2 layers. You can make the first layer a lot the transparency or whatever. That way you can draw the second layer better. So that's just random tips I have for Sketchbook. There's a lot of different options. This is actually what's this thing? It's something, yeah, perspective. So if you want to draw something in a certain perspective, maybe. I mean, I don't use that because I don't draw buildings or anything in a weird perspective. Symmetry, yeah, you get that. You get the gist of that. And you can use anything, like here, I can draw this and it will immediately just copy it. So even that gets copied over there. This can get copied. So yeah, there's just a bunch of different options of brushes. So yeah, it's just random stuff. And the symmetry you can also do like this. You can have 4 symmetries. You can have, what's this? Oh, you can have even more symmetry. That was really, really cool. That's really cool. So yeah, you can check that out. Some of the options that you get though, you're gonna need to pay. Unfortunately, there's some that's free. So here's a ruler. So yeah, that's some pretty cool tips, or I don't know, random stuff that it has because I want you guys to get it. Okay, so now we're gonna go to actual animating part. So what you do is you go to the top, you see File, go to New Flipbook. New empty flipbook. Do you want to save changes? No, because I didn't do anything. Now here is what you need to look at. So I don't think you can really change that. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't do that. Frame rate. So frame rate. If you're a beginner animator, I'd go for 12 frames per second. even though it won't look that smooth, you're slowly gonna get better and better as an animator, and then you can go up. But don't just immediately do like 30 frames per second, because you're just gonna be like, oh my god. Unless you're a really patient person, then okay. But animating's not very easy, so I'm just gonna do 12 frames per second, to be honest, because I'm not gonna do that much anyway. What I'm gonna show you guys, just a few tips, I guess. Even though I did kind of do other animations, I don't want to spend like 3 hours animating something just so you know how to animate. I'm just going to animate somebody blinking, so I'm just going to draw something super random, to be honest. Hello, just a circle. I'm just going to draw a random circle. Well, not draw one, because I got to put a circle here. Okay, here's my little circle thing. And I'm not really going to do anything with it because I'm so lazy with it. So here's, I'm going to use a symmetry line as well. You kind of see me put this straight in the middle, like this little dot here. There's no reason to do that. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. It's just so that basically you can click it. Cause see how you can't click it there and move it? The only way you can do that is by actually clicking this, but it's not gonna make it more symmetrical. It's like right here, and make it less symmetrical right here. Like that has absolutely no use except to click it and drag it. So I just do that because it's a habit, and that's it. But I'm not gonna stop that habit because it makes no sense. Okay, it's not even that good of an eye. I know. I'm just showing you guys just a random tip of animating. What is that? Okay. Okay then. No. And then I'll just stop the symmetry. And then draw that. I don't even know. So here's an eye. So here's a random eye that I'm gonna draw. Yeah, like that. Okay. So here's our eye. Okay, so we're gonna make it blink. Now, the very important part for animating is, so draw what you need to start the animation with. What's the first frame? Is the person just gonna be looking at the screen? Is it gonna be looking away from the screen? Just whatever pose is gonna be first. That's what you want to figure out first. And then you want to say, what's the first thing the character is going to do? Is the character going to smile? Is the character going to blink? Or whatever? Is it going to take a step forward? And then figure out how fast is the character going to do that. So basically what I'd say is, how many seconds is that person going to take from this frame to the whole blinking, or to it being closed? For example, it can be for each step that the person takes. So I'm gonna get half a second long, because half a second would be like, okay, so here's 1 second. 1, so half of that would be like, and you can actually just see, just click the play button, and it will show you how fast it is. So here's 1 second, 1 to 12, so half a second would be like that. So just like that. So here we go. We're gonna start animating this now. And on the way, I'll show you what are these buttons for, what are these buttons for, stuff like that. I'll show you guys that and other things you can use later on. But for now, I just want to start off with this, just animating by itself. So here's our first frame. So what we want to do is we want to go over here. You can just make a new keyframe if you want to redraw what you just did. But what I usually just do is I just copy what I did to the next frame and then erase what I need to erase and then draw whatever. I'm not really the type of person that just redraws everything, because it won't look perfect and it's actually gonna make it look a little like, there are some types of artists that do redraw it. It adds like a look to it, I guess, but you can redraw it or you don't. I mean, I'll just show you what you do if you want to redraw what you just did. So insert empty frame and then click add keyframe. And then what you do is you go over here and you're going to see show hide ghosting a previous, and you're going to see this invisible thingy, or not invisible, but transparent. You can kind of see through it. What this means is that you're looking at the frame behind it. That's not going to affect the frame. It's only there so that you can see what you did before that and what you do now. It's kind of like so you know what it looks like and what you need to change. So that's if you're going to just redraw the whole thing. I'm not going to redraw it, but you just draw the head. I know that looks very, very bad. I'm not even going to do that because I mean, it's pretty obvious. Just redraw what you did, and yeah. I'm not gonna do that. So let's just say, okay, never mind. I just want to copy paste or whatever. So what you do is you go over here and you see clear keyframe. It's gone now. You're back at your first frame. So click the first frame, and then if you want to just duplicate what you just did, click duplicate. So now frame 1 and frame 2 are the exact same. So I'm just going to change the eyes, obviously. So I'm going to get my eraser, and I'm just going to erase that eye. And you're like, wait, what is that for? Well, remember what I said about the transparency? So what's right here is what you saw from the last frame. See? The only difference is I just erased the eyes. So that's not going to affect this frame. That's just so you see what you did on the last frame. So here's where the tips come in, basically. When I animate, I'm like, okay, so we know how many frames it's going to be. It's going to go over to 6 frames, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 lines to indicate where the eye is going to be until it reaches the actual closing. So what I do is I go to mid-ground, and unless you're using that layer for shading, stuff like that, that's a really good animating. I just use this to guidelines, basically. So what we do is, so we say, okay, so we need 3 in between frames before actually closing. So this is already going to be one of them, so, I mean, we just do this. 1, 2, 3, 1, and then it'll try to keep it kind of symmetrical, the same. So let's actually fix that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then actually having the eye closed. Okay, it doesn't have to look perfect, especially since, you know, I'm lazy. So if you want to use symmetry again, you can. I don't even know. So here's our first one right here. That's why we're actually going to have the eye closed. Okay, so let's redraw what we just did. What am I doing? Oh. Oh, there we go. So we're gonna have like kinda like this. And if you want to make it even better, more frames, I don't know. If you want to make it look more smooth, it just takes time and practice. Oh wait, that was supposed to be on the foreground. Whoops. After you do the guidelines, put it back on the foreground. I forgot to do that. That actually happens when I'm animating, and I'm like, oh mad, like, oops, I made a mistake. So here we go. So we're gonna do that. Wait. Oh. Whoopsie. Okay, we don't want that then. Okay. And then we're going to go. Okay. And then we're not even trying to make it perfect, so really. Okay, so now we're going to go to our next keyframe. And this keyframe is, okay, so we're going to erase what we just did with the eye again. Let's just make the eraser bigger, because we're not doing anything. And now you're going to see the keyframes of both of them. That's if you're really animating, like, really good ones, I guess. Then you really need to know what each thing was before you got there. But since I'm just being really easy with my animation, you can actually do how many keyframes behind you want to go. I say go to 1 so you can just see that one. And each one you do is how many frames, blah blah blah, you kind of get it. Hopefully my viewers aren't like very new to animating. But all of a sudden they're like, oops. Because the way I'm explaining it is kind of like, you probably know what I mean if you animated before. So get symmetry again because I'm too lazy to draw them separately. I'm not really even trying, so. Okay, I'll go back to this. This is the second one. So hopefully this might be kind of helpful because I told you guys a few tips that you may not have known before. Especially if you guys are kind of new to animating, this guideline thing will actually help you. So hopefully that actually helps you, the guidelines like that, so you know where to really put it. When I first started animating, I just did random stuff, like all of my frames were like something different, and then I figured out it was going too fast. So instead of making them move something slower, I just like duplicated the frames to make it appear longer. So it kind of didn't turn out too well. I'll actually link my first animation so you can see. Look, I mean it's kind of good for a beginner, but I just didn't have guidelines and stuff. So especially since I've been practicing a lot, I think I made those guidelines myself. I don't really watch animating tutorials because they just weren't really helpful to me, and because it's kind of simple, to be honest. It's just you gotta practice and, you know, just find your own ways to animate. I mean, there are some tutorials you may need, but my tutorials are basically reality life and just using my math, like how many frames, blah blah blah. And maybe if I don't know how something is supposed to be animated, what I would do is I would look at the video, okay, how does a horse walk? So that I know how to animate my horse walking. You know, stuff like that. So just do whatever you gotta do there. Okay, we're almost done now. Okay. It's kind of strange, I know. It's not the best. And the most fun part to me is after the animating part. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that a little bit. But I don't want to like ramble on and on. Okay, so now we gotta erase the eyes again. Oh no. I hate the erasing part. I mean, it may not be the best way to animate or whatever, but I don't even know. So most of these stuff I kind of figured it out myself, to be honest. I'm not the type of person that basically, I don't know. But, you know, there's a perfect way or whatever. Oh, come on, I keep forgetting. Yeah, I keep forgetting some parts. Okay, I'm gonna use the animating, so I'm not like, oh, this is gonna be easy. And then I'm like, mess up a lot, so. Especially because I'm not gonna make it perfect. I'm not really spending a lot of time on it, so this is why it's gonna be kind of lazy. But hopefully you guys kind of get what I mean anyway. So, and I love Flipbook. It's just so easy for me, and even though like beginners might not think it's easy, I just think it's easy. I'm like, oh, this is so easy. Why do people think it's hard? Blah blah blah. It's probably because at the beginning I also thought it was hard, but I just got used to it. I'm the type of person that gets very used to things in like seconds. Well, maybe not seconds, but days or hours or something. Like, I just think things are easy after you kind of know them. Okay, now I'm at the last frame, our sixth frame. Our sixth frame is going to just be this. Oh, I thought the symmetrical thing wasn't on, so I was like, oh, dang it. And then it was. So, like, oopsie. It's not like you hear the Google things going off, Google Hangouts. It's because my friend Right then, again, standing me, and I was like, I'm gonna do a video, and she's still standing me. And then my best friend also started talking to me. I was like, oops, I probably should have told them beforehand. But just a sound after all, right? Okay, so now we're at the part where we're going to look at our animation so far. And you can check every once in a while, especially if you're doing a really good animation, every few frames, so you know you're doing it right. But since it's just a quick, lazy animation, so look at that. Just keep pressing play after the part you animated. So you can see it's pretty good, actually. It's not bad. So yeah, if you just let it go on, it's just gonna go on until the very end. So, and if you press this button, so next frame, so that's kind of frame by frame, play all frames. Look, so if you look right here, you're gonna see there's 25 frames on this area, and if you scroll, it's gonna actually change it. So 241 is all the frames together. So if you play all frames, it's gonna just go on and on and on until it reaches 241. So that would be a while of just the sixth thing going on for that long. So I will show you guys how to fix that if you don't want it to go on forever because you just wanted it really quick. I'll show you guys how to do that. So first, okay, so I did this and I like it. Now what I do without these guidelines. Go to mid-ground and you'll be able to just erase that and it will be gone. Even though you can see the ghost part, that's because you didn't erase it yet on the thing before it. So just erase all those things. Usually frame 1 doesn't have the guidelines on there because, I mean, there's no need to. So now, when you're done, you can just turn off the ghosting because there's no point. And then just look at it again, make sure you like it. So yeah, you like it, right? But you're like, I want them to go open the close and then not to open. So you're like, do I have to redraw them? Nope. So here's our sixth thing. Just don't copy that one again because that makes it last longer than the other ones. So it's kind of like open. It's kind of like open, 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 closed, closed, and then open. So that doesn't make any sense. But you know, it makes the close time longer than the opening time, and it can make it look weird. I'll show you guys anyway if we did copy it. So we're just gonna duplicate it anyway, so you guys can see. So just copy, and then pull it down, and then move it like this. If you don't, it's not gonna work. So you can see that. It's notching this, right? So kinda keep going and then copy fourth frame, pull it down, pull it, and then click the thing like that, and then delete. Hopefully you saw what I did anyway. So I'm trying to make sure I know where I am before I copy a keyframe. So 4, and then which one are we on? Okay, so 2. Again. And there's no reason to copy 1 again because that makes it last longer. Like again, that makes it 1 frame longer than the rest. So see what happens. So see, it kind of makes it a little bit longer. I actually do kind of like it though. So it's 11 and 1 the same. Okay, no, it's not the same. Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna go. Okay, so now what we do, if you don't want it to repeat on forever, because at the end when you're actually exporting the animation or the GIF or whatever, it's gonna go all the way to that many frames. So even now, when you just click play, you're just gonna see 1 to 24. At the end, it's not gonna do like that. So what we do is 11 is our last frame. Okay, so just do that and then click play, and it's just gonna repeat that. So you're like, okay. And now the only part that's kind of weird though is at the end, and then it goes back to 1. So you guys can kind of see what I mean, and kind of look at it and do whatever you need to do with changing it, making it better. I'm not the type of person that, I am the type of person that likes to fix problems, but I'm not gonna fix my weird issue I see with it. I think what I need to do is actually make the open time longer as well. Like when it's absolutely closed, it's a thing longer, and then when it's open, it's just like quickly opens, quickly closes, and then the close time is longer than the opening time. So that's probably why it looks strange to me, but I'm not gonna fix that because there's no reason to. Because I'm not even gonna stay there or anything, so hopefully you guys kind of see what it's like to animate. I'm pretty used to animating now, so you can kind of see. And remember, if you want the eyes to open and close even faster, no, it's gonna be even less frames than what I did. I needed 6 frames from open to close. So for you, you might be like, well, I want it faster than 6 frames. By the way, this is on 12 frames per second though. So if you want it less than 6, then 4, 3, then the guidelines would just be 2, or, you can kind of see what I mean. So if you want to watch lots of tutorials on really how to really animate, then you can do that. Or you can just use that. Because I just did blinking, because that's just easy for me. So yeah, there we go, we're done with the animation. And also, another random tip for you guys is stop the animation. There we go. So, okay, so now here's a tip for you guys that may be useful to you. So the random tip that I'm going to tell you guys is, let's just say a person is blinking, but you also want their mouth to move or whatever. Then what I would do, like at the same time, basically, it's easier to just do the blinking first, or just start with one of them, and then go back, and then animate the mouth or whatever. So don't animate them both at the same time, because you might get confused, and it'll look really weird, and like, oh, I messed up. And you think the whole thing is messed up, when it's just, it's only one little mistake. So what you do is just animate the eyes first, and then you're like, okay, I want to animate the hair moving, or animate the mouth moving. Then you can do that. That way it's kind of just easier. Or, do whatever you think is easier, and then you want to animate them all at once. Because just imagine doing the whole eyes, and then you do the hair, like 2 frames of difference, like here's the hair, frame 1, and here's frame 2. You're going to have to redo all that over and over again, so if you want to do all of them at the same time, you can. I don't do that, though. So do whatever you think is right for you and your animating. Try to make it your own way. I mean, you can use different people's ways of animating, but I don't. So just do whatever you want to do. And that's all I'm going to show you guys today. Please use Flipbook. It's a lot better, at least than the others. So anyway, that's all. Bye. I'm really tired. Just kidding, but I need to do some things. So bye, guys.